Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Cynthia. I'm here to do a love layout for us today. I got kind of excited and inspired to do a love reading earlier this morning. And And I wanted to do one yesterday, but I got this new work done on my other hand. And ouch, I forgot how painful your hand is to get worked on, and it was swollen and I couldn't really use it. But today it's a lot less sore, and I can bend my fingers again. It's not so swollen, and I love it. This is Mark Masota. He's tattooing out of Vancouver, Washington currently, but he's tattooed all over the world. He's award-winning for black ink work, and a very dear friend of mine. So if you're anywhere nearby, I highly recommend him for tattoo work. Most of my stuff that he's done are collaborative. Like we've kind of collaborated on the image, my idea and his kind of knowledge about what looks good tattooing and where, and he's also super friendly and just a really wonderful person. So now, what is happening for you in love? What would be helpful for you to know in love right now? This will be a relationship spread for you and the person either that you're interested in or that you're currently with. The Two of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So this might be a time of stillness right now, or you might be feeling blocked in love, but let's find out more. Ooh, wow. So if you see me writing the cards here and you're a tarot reader, I do that because I don't typically read reversals unless I feel kind of instinctually that I should. I feel like card layouts can provide enough information. The tarot is such an abundant deck that I don't think you have to read reversals. But I certainly appreciate the depth that they bring to readings, and I read reversals almost like automatically each time I'm looking at a card. I'm thinking of both its positive and negative attributes, right? So this column over here represents us, or you, the person seeking the information, and this is going to be your person over here. So we're going to start with you, and you are in your mind center, the center of your mind. You're feeling a little bit either distracted or at odds with yourself about choices or your feelings about this person. The passion in you might have really been catalyzed or ignited in a way that creates a little bit of inner conflict for you about the relationship. And it's not surprised to see here because there's a lot of intense energy afoot. So the impact it's having on you is that it's making you feel a little bit like at odds with yourself and lit up and catalyzed, and like you want to get moving and figure it out, and you're ready to tangle or whatever it has to be to get the answers you seek, maybe, or the understanding that is eluding you right now. And in your heart center is the tower. So in your emotions, this is like a revolution for you almost in your heart of like, you may have not been fully at peace with yourself about your feelings for the person, and now in your heart you're really having to face like something really major is happening between us, and I am now facing that, and it's creating this like kind of shock factor in your heart center. You might have also found out something really intense about your loved one that is creating this tower in your heart. We're going to keep going and find out more. The person that you're thinking of for this love reading is for some reason feeling like they have to stand their ground with you or guard against you in some way. So you're both very conscious and aware of the tension between you. This can be positive tension too. It can be, you know, if you're both thinking of yourselves in the fire element, there's a lot of passion present. It's being activated right now in a conflict. It's not harmonized passion of like, let's get busy. It's a little bit like, let's tangle. There's passion and maybe differences in perspective playing out between the two of you right now, but it's passionate. So not surprising again with all this passion that there's a tower happening for you for some reason, and we'll find out more. This person is in their heart in an abundant place, but what I'm seeing with these two cards in relation to one another is that they might feel like they're having to guard themselves from you materially in some way. They might be feeling like you're after their money, for example, and that's not true for you, or I don't know. I'm kind of really sensing that we're gonna have to pull more cards here, but this is definitely about confusion between the two of you about the stability that you may or may not be able to achieve as a couple. You might be currently trying to decide whether you're going to stay together. You may have found out something about this loved one that's rocking your emotions and they're not aware of it yet. But in any case, in their heart, they feel an abundant energy towards you. But like I said, with the Seven of Wands, there might be some reason why they feel like they need to protect it. I'm not sure why that would be. But like I said, again, we'll pull more cards too. Something happened between you in the past. There's a lot of sorrow here. This is like the foundational energy running between you is the Three of Swords. So this is coming clear to me that you walked away from this relationship and you started generating your own, or you maybe always have generated your own abundance. This person may have thought that you were after their money or their resources, or that you were out to sort of take advantage of them. But what's at the heart of this is you're not trying to, you're very abundant on your own. The Nine of Pentacles is like, you would love a relationship, but you don't need a relationship to be okay. You're generating your own stability. You're making your own dreams a reality. You'd like to be with someone and maybe have a collaborative partner in life and in your heart center. But maybe you realized, as much as I loved this person, it's just never going to happen. They went and decided to be with someone else, right? And so you moved on. You moved on and you felt like you had to really set some hard limits with this person. So I'm not sure why this column feels like it's because this reading is for you. Usually this column here is the energy that's between you. But the energy that's between you, why it's being emphasized is that you setting these kinds of hard boundaries, even though it was hard for you, it's really in play right now. Like, this person might not have agreed with the boundaries you set. It might have made them feel defensive. They might have felt like you spoke some truths to them that they don't want to hear. And so they're trying to guard themselves against it. So I'm curious about this. Tell me more about what happened that created the sorrow between you. I'm almost not sure where to start. Like, the confusion is very present here. Like, I feel confused and overwhelmed with what happened between you. So one or both of you feels like that. And that Tower card is the main card here. It's the only major arcana that came out is the Tower. So it's really dramatic and major things happening between you. You may have recently found out some really painful things. Yeah. Let's see here. I still feel it. I feel that really overwhelmed feeling, and I don't know where to start to get the clarification. Where should I start, Spirit? What happened? Why is this so sorrow? Gosh, I feel the sorrow. I really feel the sorrow and the shock here. This person wasn't opening up to you. This person it's like they were keeping everything for themselves. Their emotions, their passion, their materials, there's not any cups out here. And it's like you must have just realized that's coming through. You must have just realized, like, this is never going to happen. It's like you woke up to it. No matter how much I try to let this person know I love them, that I'm not out to harm them, that I want to collaborate with them, that I don't have any ill will towards them, that I truly coming from a, you may have really, really invested a lot to try to make this come to be or help this person see, and they just wouldn't open up. They wouldn't open up, and so you've walked away. That's what I think is happening here, but I'm gonna get some clarity just to make sure. What happened? What happened that has you? This person wouldn't open up to you. There's no cups. As hard as it is for you, as much as you may still love this person, you finally are like, I can't lie to myself anymore. This person's not going to open up to me. I have to move on. We're not on the same page or whatever, right? What else? You got tired of doing all the work to try to make this heal or help this come to be in a healthy place. You got tired of doing all the work. You felt like you were doing the work by yourself. You're ready for a new start. You don't want this anymore. You're like, fine, I need to direct my passion towards something else, towards myself, towards my own endeavors, towards my own goals, towards a new love, towards getting myself off. This is a very passion physicality card. I sense that there was a lot of physicality in this relationship, and maybe you decided it's okay to just make love with myself for a while, right? That's pretty graphic, but I could see that being the case. Like, for the first time in my life, I'm going to just try to really take care of myself. I'm going to pour all that work and energy and effort into myself instead of a partner or a job or my family or whatever. I just went through, and I'm going through this now for the very first time in my life. Like, all the love, the care, the concern, the time, some of which at times was pretty codependent and not the greatest for the other party, right? I can own that. This is really the first time at 50 that I'm really giving to myself. If I want to do something nice for myself, like go blonde for a couple years, even though it's expensive, even though it seems frivolous, I don't care because it makes me happy. So I'm doing it. If I want to buy makeup that's kind of spendy, I'm doing it. I'm just doing for myself 100% for the first time. And I feel this energy coming off of you. It's like a passion to realize, like, I just need to be investing in myself. Why am I spending so much time uplifting all these other folks and neglecting myself? It was a revelation in your heart center when you became aware of this. And you're resting and knowing that you want to reinvest in where it's going to be received, right? You don't want to have to work and work and work and work and not, you want the new beginning. You're resting though. I'm curious about the resting. What else? What about this other person? Like, what happened? Hanged Man, 7 of Cups. This person couldn't make up their mind. They had a lot of options in love, and they were either feeling persecuted, like you were going to hurt them, or that you were out for their money. That keeps coming through. They thought that you were just going to fuck them over. They played the field, they played around, they confused, they were acting like kind of a player here. What's happening with this person right now? What's happening? You've recognized, like, enough. This dynamic is not going to work for me. I'm better off on my own until I can find someone who truly, be my partner. This person just feels like they're afraid of me and they have to defend themselves, and no matter what I do, for whatever reason, they've got some of their own demons. Who knows what is going on? Why is this person so convinced that, what's the deal here? They're watching you with suspicion. This is a judgment day. This is a real judgment day for them. Whatever's going on, it's got nothing to do with you. Maybe this Tower realization for you is creating a judgment day for them. That could be. I don't know who this Queen is here, but I think it's you, because you're the 9 of Pentacles. So I think they've recognized they're going through a judgment day about you. But again, it's not Knight of Cups, it's Knight of Wands. So they're maybe admitting to themselves the passion they have for you. But so what? Passion isn't, you can't survive on passion forever. You need earth element, you need water element, you need the other elements. You can't just be going solely on wands your whole life. What happened here? Why did this person feel like they had to defend themselves against you? This Tower and this Judgment Day for both of you in the Heart Center shows me that you both made some pretty powerful realizations here. You pulling away is causing a Judgment Day, though. They might be seeing I played this person, or I treated this person like I assumed this person was out for my money because that's what's always been the case, right? Maybe you've always dealt with relationships where someone's trying to get something from you. So you mistook that this time around and it wasn't the case with this person, and now you're realizing it. That could be why it's causing a Judgment Day for the other party. I started speaking to the other party as if they're listening too. So you may both be people who are invested in this kind of work, and you're both trying to understand to some degree. There's theft energy here as well. Why did this person, what happened? Why is this person in Seven of Wands around this energy? Why? What happened? What's the deal? So at the bottom of the deck is the Five of Pentacles. So they might have felt like this person's just going to screw me over like everybody else. This is what we were suspecting, that they thought that you were out for their money. So they became afraid that they were going to be left out in the cold if they got involved with you, that you were going to take their money, is what it sounds like. But let's see. Two of Wands, Six of Swords, the Devil. They're trying to come out of this energy. They're trying to arrive at a different place, at a new understanding after calming down, but there's still sort of that devil energy, Seven of Cups. There's kind of some still toxic energy in play for some reason. How about for Queen of Swords? Like, what about this energy and where it's headed? This is turning out to be a love reading about a breakup, is kind of what it's seeming like, about a relationship that's over. I don't know. We can ask, like, is this a relationship that should be allowed to die? Like, why is this reading coming out for someone? What is the Queen of Swords? Why is this important for someone to know? You're already aware that you're going through the sorrow. Maybe this person's just starting to figure it out. I'm not sure. King of Swords. So that's coming out here with the Queen of Swords. So you could be two air signs, or you're just well matched. But you might be, because there's kind of this warlike energy here, that might be how you're showing up for each other, is very protected, both of you, right? There might be something might be about to happen, which is why the Queen of Swords came out, and where the energy is headed is that somebody might be showing up to offer you the world, but they're not like a lover. Like, this person might try to show back up now that they're going through this Judgment Day and realizing that they mishandled you. They treated you like any other frivolous kind of encounter, or any other type of person they've always attracted, which might be a little bit more like money seeking or resource seeking or whatever, and they made that assumption about you. And now this Judgment Day is kind of showing them that you're actually a Queen of Pentacles. You're not someone who's trying to steal from them. And they mishandled you. That's kind of coming through. They're only just now starting to figure that out. And I have a sense that because of that, they might come rushing towards you because they don't want to lose you. But they still have some work to do with this Two of Swords. This Two of Swords came up at the bottom of the deck as I was shuffling. So they might... I mean, what's important for you to understand is that they're wanting to come in and there's love present here. Like when I was noticing that the cups were absent in the reading, here they are. They're starting to show up with this Knight of Cups and this World card. But there's also a lot of guarded energy here. You both need to approach this with a lot of reason. If you're going to try to work this out, you can't be engaging in this catalytic fire energy all the time. You're going to really have to activate your higher wisdom here. If you want to communicate effectively, that's coming through. This person can come in and maybe try to tell you what you want to hear because they don't want to lose you, but there's still some blocks happening for them is what's happening. They're not major because the Two of Swords compared to the World card is really not, it's a non-issue unless they make it an issue, right? I mean, everybody has, what should you know? Why is this coming out for you? What's important for you to understand about this? Why are you being shown this? Is this like a warning that there might be more work to do? I don't know. Why is this coming out for you? You're an Empress, so you're attracting a new version of this King of Swords. He's going to show back up. I think he's going to he or she is going to try to offer you maybe a new life, but there might be some obstacles to it for some reason. Strength is at the bottom of the deck. What else? The High Priestess and the Empress. So you are really, yeah, he might not, I don't know. There's just a warning here. There really is. There's a warning here for you. I'm gonna pull some other cards. What's going on? What is the problem here? Is this person just, is it deception, or is it that they're just, I don't understand why you keep being warned here. This seems like it's maybe a warning reading for someone. Why is this happening? What is this for you? What do you need to understand about this? Climb the burning ladder. So there's a little bit of difficulty that you're still feeling about this whole thing. Like this might be coming up because this person that you're still in love with is going to show back up and say the things that you want to hear. But a deeper part of you knows that they may not really mean it or be ready. And so it might mean continuing to hold your boundary for longer, even though you don't want to. Like I'm kind of sensing that you would love nothing more than to believe this person, but you've been through too much and you've recognized it's costing me too much. I can't keep letting this person come in and disrupt my peace and then move out again, right? Like I kind of sense that you're tired of it. So climbing the burning ladder for you means holding your boundary even when this person shows up and offers you something that they're not quite ready to offer, honestly. Like they don't want to lose you, but they're not truly ready to offer what they're saying they're going to. Let's see what else. Sing to clear your throat chakra and lift your spirits. So that's great advice always, because there's sorrow here. You might even sense that this person's going to show up. You might feel that this is happening and you're already a little sad about it because you can tell they're not. So this is going to help. And not only will it help you lift your spirits, but having a clear throat chakra is really going to help the communication between you. Even if just one of you's throat chakra is wide open and clear, it helps, because not only does an open throat chakra mean that you can speak clearly, it also means that you are in balance and able to listen. You can listen as well. A lot of people don't uphold that quality of the throat chakra, that it's as much about listening as it is about speaking. If you have an imbalanced throat chakra, you often can't listen. You only are trying to get yourself heard all the time, right? Which can happen if you've been a trauma survivor or never allowed to speak your truth. Then you get an imbalanced throat chakra where you just engulf people who seem open, and you lay too many burdens out to a kind stranger, for example, right? It can look a lot of weird ways, but having a clear throat chakra can help you have the most productive conversation you can with this person and not be reactive from a inner conflict, for example, right? Accept, embrace, and love your heartbreak, love your pain. So accept that this person is still maybe going to show up in this kind of shady energy, and it's important to just acknowledge to yourself that it sucks. Guard your inner vein of gold. Artemis and Actaeon, shield your energy. And when I made this card, I made it because I was coming into an empowered place of like, I remember hearing that story the first time, Artemis and Actaeon. I was like, damn, cold-blooded, because Artemis is caught bathing. She's bathing nude in a beautiful pond somewhere, or a spring. And Actaeon is a hunter, and he accidentally comes up on her and sees her bathing, and he practices the sacrilege of spying on her while she's bathing in her glory. And she sees and catches him spying, because the respectful thing to do would be, I'm not meant to see this, I should exit. She's in her power privately, but this person was spying on her. And in her anger, because her goddess energy was interfered with against her will, she did kind of enacted her vengeance against Actaeon and turned him into a deer, and his own hunting dogs killed him. So that's cold-blooded, right? Artemis did not show any mercy there. And this is kind of that energy. It's saying you might really love this person, but if this person is not showing up in a respectful way, but still showing up because they are passionate about you and have lust for you, but they're still interested in acting from ego, you really need to shield your energy from that, because what happens is this person gets a boost and then you pay the price, and you don't want to do that anymore. I sense that it's going to be hard though, because when they show up with this loving offer, like offering you the world, it's everything you've been wanting, but something deeper in you senses that it's not genuine, or that this person's not ready, one of the two. So guarding your energy is spot on with this Queen of Swords, right? I'm sorry, because I know it's frustrating. Yep, dark arrows, use caution, lower your profile. This person's not ready for some reason. I'm really sorry that I'm saying this reading right now. It's kind of not what I was hoping for, but it's at least, it's coming out for a reason, and you must need the warning. What else for you? What else should you know? What's good energy for you to be in right now? What's good energy for you to be in? Shielding your energy is going to be important. It'll be really wise of you not to let this person steal your peace and your energy by making you a fake offer that they can't really live up to. What should you do? The Mother. Interesting. The Liberator. Card number 17 is the Mother. This is advice for you about further advice about how to handle this. One advice is guard your energy, lower your profile. There's dark energy afoot, dark arrows. Make sure your throat chakra is clear so that you know that your side of the communication is clear and that you're speaking your truth and you're not being deceptive or whatever, right? You are being asked to deepen your faith and beliefs, to look back at where you came from and strengthen connections with the place you began, to mend what needs mending, and even to create new connections. No past can truly be completely left behind. Take some additional self-care and self-love opportunities. Something remains, and it must be healed or absorbed in some way. The Mother nurtures without condition and loves without question. They know that no one is beyond healing and strength that comes from being earthly or divinely mothered. So this is the advice to be doing for you. Like we said, you were tapping into your Empress energy, doing what makes you feel beautiful, filling your own cup. I'm doing that really truly for the first time in my life. I was able to give to myself to some degree before, but this is really the first time that I've been like saying no to people, disappointing people, not participating in things that I used to, having a boundary with someone in my family who really hurt my feelings. And when they said, I want nothing further to do with you, I said, okay. Instead of trying to scramble to get them back and figure out how I can, you know, it's like, okay, I'm just going to let it go then. That's really how you feel good. I'm not going to keep pouring towards you if you're, as a grown adult, not going to be upholding your side of our relationship. Why would I do that anymore, right? But that took me a long time. Some of my loyalty, the qualities of my loyalty have been to my detriment, right? So this is maybe speaking to you that you need to be loyal to yourself first and foremost with that strength card. It's not necessarily a permanent condemnation. So I really want to make that clear. Like, if you're committed to this relationship, like, that's fine, but not right now, not when this person shows up in this shady energy. They have more growing to do. And if you can live with that, but you're open to waiting, that's okay. That's your free will, right? But this is just important warning for you that not to go into denial because this person's your weakness, right? The Liberator, card 27. And this is a progression of tens. That's funny. I did a reading recently where there was a progression of tens. And this is a progression of tens. The Liberator, card 27. Sometimes you need to act and even make decisions completely alone. And though this takes courage, it does ensure that what you are creating for the future is completely in line with your values. Amen. This is everything we're saying. You don't want to settle for this person's line because you sense on a deeper level that they're not ready or it's not fully sincere. And people lie to themselves all the time. That's how so many romance scams happen, right? Because they want the love so badly that they ignore red flags. You don't want to fall into that trap here. This is really warning you about that. There's a new hope, breakthrough, or opportunity coming, but along the way, there is also the chance of a false hope. Boom, everything we were just saying. So be astute in your choosing. The Liberator has a strong, optimistic nature and ensures they can carry the torch of justice and freedom, climbing the burning ladder. Carry the torch of justice and freedom forth for others to be rallied by. They do not give up and will always find a way to make inroads to the outcomes that are true, just, and needed. This is perfect. So this could be something like, I'm just going to say it because I think it might actually be somebody's literal circumstance. You might have fallen in love with someone and there was a triangle. They had an involvement with someone else. And this may have kept you in an entrapped or triangulated experience for quite a while with this person. And you finally liberated yourself. And you feel sad, but stronger every day. You're on the upswing. You're recovering. You're generating your own abundance. You were never after this person's money or trying to take from them in a selfish way or a calculated way or a manipulative way. That was never where you were. But regardless, now that this person's going to come in, I could see it being something like, I'm in love with you, but I'm stuck where I am. If we can have a secret relationship, but that's all I can't. You know, then they might really try to paint it beautifully. Like, I remember a loved one of mine having an offer that they would be a kept woman, basically. And the loved one was like, no, I deserve more. I'm not going to be a kept woman. Even though it's tempting, even though I'm tired of struggling financially, I'm not going to be a secret woman on the side. I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm not going to undermine my own dignity. It could be something like this, that this person's going to come in and because you still love them, you'll be really tempted to take it. But it's saying, don't do that. Hold out. It'll either force this person to rise to your level or you'll have a new love coming in. It's almost like a test in a weird way to see if you can break this old pattern. If you can really break the pattern this time and not settle for less than what you deserve, then everything opens up for you into everything that you have wanted. But if you take this person's crumbs, whatever would motivate them to give you anything but crumbs, right? Like, these are hard lessons that sometimes you have to hear over and over before you finally live them out for yourself. I've definitely been there. I want to pull now a card about the relationship itself. Like, what should you understand specifically about the relationship right now and where the other person is? Some Colette Baron Reed. And I'm going to read out of her book this time because I like her descriptions and getting better and better at knowing this deck so that I don't have to use the book as much, but I do still appreciate her language, and I don't, of course, have it all memorized. So by facing the truth about the way things have gone down with this person, you've liberated yourself. It was a very painful truth. It may have come like a really painful awakening in your heart center where you just finally saw the light. Like, this person's never going to show up for me. They're never going to offer what, it might have been something like that, and you've really had to cry it out and rest because you poured a lot towards it. You got tired of that, though, and you recognized, I want more for myself. What about the other person? What's important to know about this relationship? Can it ever have a future? Is there a possibility in the future if that's what you want? Maybe you don't want that and you just want to know how to move on, and those are all your lessons right there. Just know that you are attracting in what is for you because you've had the courage to say no to these half-step measures. What about the other person? Is this person going to really show up if you set the boundary? What about them? Where's it heading for them right now? Well, there's a little bit of encouragement here. First card is by the book, number 11. And it's the relationship. I'm going to read these cards purely for the relationship descriptions. Getting along with others entails understanding and respecting who they have become as a result of their environment, culture, and experience. Find the middle ground that allows the relationship to flourish while honoring the individuality of the other person. Play things by the book instead of trying to break the rules or pressure others to conform to the way you want to do them. Your connection will deepen as a result. So this person may end up being sincere in their offer. It's not that they're deceptive or lying to you. It may be that they are not aware that they're not quite ready to give you what they're offering. They just know they don't want to lose you, but they're trying, is kind of what I'm sensing here. They're recognizing, I played this relationship inappropriately. I treated this person like an option. I treated them from player energy when they're a high priestess and an empress, and they were not doing to me what I assumed. And now I see, because look, orphaned is the next card. They're upset about it. As you shift and evolve and commit to your own growth, you long for support, but may be disappointed and hurt by others who are not providing what you feel you deserve. Perhaps you're drifting away from this relationship because you're in a different stage of personal growth. Perhaps you are in a new relationship and discovering that you don't share the same values and beliefs, so you feel left out, unable to get to that intimate place of safety and belonging. Take heart, as Spirit knows you and loves you, and will steer you in the direction of those who accept you as you are, without sacrifice or agenda. Don't compromise yourself to belong. It won't be worth the price. So that might be, this is a message for you, but I also think that it's an erroneous message of theirs, that they think, I'm not going to bend. I'm not going to compromise who I am. I'm someone who likes to play the field. She can either get with that or we're not, he may still be in that kind of cocky, like he doesn't want to lose you. But I think what he's not grasping, he or she, is that this is the kind of energy that gets you orphaned because it's not playing from an authentic place. I think this person's trying, but they don't see what they don't see. They don't see their ego as a problem or something. They don't see where they get in their own way yet. So that's why this is a vulnerable time for you. Because if you believe what they're telling you, they are not saying it from a complete self-awareness, I guess, is what I'm getting at. But there is some willingness on their part to keep trying. Card 21 is clean it up. So by coming toward you is going to be their effort to clean it up, I think. But let's see here. Time to clear the air. Take a good look at your side of the street and say what's on your mind. Sweep away the old stuff so that a spring breeze can flow through with new energy. It's the perfect time to do an inventory of your dynamics and see what's yours and what's not yours to clean up the relationship. Everyone brings some baggage. Sort through what you brought with you and let go of what is no longer needed. Become unencumbered and your relationship will flourish. So I think that they are trying to some extent to see if they can't come back to this in a new way, but they've still maybe got some behaviors that they're hanging on to that are not going to serve the situation well. You are empowered and in a position where you're not going to settle for less than you deserve, and you know that. And if your loved one is catching the reading, if they cross read or if they know what you watch on here, they may see this too and feel a little bit busted. Or they could use it as an opportunity to go within and say, like, am I being real with myself? Do I really feel ready to offer the unconditional love and support that this person deserves? Am I in a position to offer that truly? Or am I just afraid of losing them, so I'm going to say whatever I can to keep them, right? If they're willing to do that kind of work, just like we all have to at some point, you know, maybe there could be hope. I'm going to do here, because I'm in the mood too, a Grand Tableau to see if I can't find out some specifics for you about what happened. And I can usually read these anymore fairly quickly, so I don't think it's going to add too much time to the layout overall. And sometimes I like the specifics of the Lenormand. I love the, or not the Lenormand, the Kipper. I love the Lenormand too, but I'm still more familiar with who the players are in Kipper. So because the energy in the outcome showed up as queen energy, I'm going to choose the main female for you in this spread, in this Grand Tableau. You'll be represented by the main female, even if you're someone who identifies as masculine. And like I said, it's because that energy was the Queen of Swords that came out in the outcome as advice for you. The definite advice was hold your line. Like, you should not be feeling like you have to give up things that are important to you for the relationship. Absolutely not. There's more in store for you than that. You don't have to settle for being a kept woman, right? My sister was like, no thanks. No thanks, dude. So I'll try to, oh wow, this is gonna be interesting. A lot of information coming out right at the top row, which might leave us with some mystery, but that's okay. A lot of times that's because you're meant to embrace the mystery and you're meant not to know, and you're meant to trust your own instincts going forward and listening to your higher power and such, right? So up here, the relationship is being highlighted, which this was a love reading, so it's not surprising, but there's some things between you. You're focused on making some changes. You are open to a revisiting of the relationship with the person. There's either another woman or another party between you, or this is your work that you're doing with someone to make changes in your own life. Because like we said, you're in Nine of Pentacles energy, so you're creating your own dreams and visions. You're no longer relying on a daydream of this masculine. You're not. You're just not. You've let it go. You're focused on yourself. This person's got a lot of chaos around them. They're worried about a third party, like we said. They're very aware that it's caused you a lot of sadness and sorrow. They know that and they're facing it. But this other person is still here, and they may be worried about the other person's pain and sorrow as well, but they're worried about what you think. They're conscious of that. You're also conscious of it. You're looking to the relationship to make sense of it as well. You both are. You're both thinking about the relationship, and that's why those wands came out in the mind. You're in a catalytic place right now about the relationship. He's thinking about a change in relationship. He's also thinking about leaving an old life and going into a new life. He's worried about what it's going to do, though. He's worried about the impacts of what these moves would mean between you and between the other party that's involved. He's preoccupied for some reason about this other party. You're very much focused on generating your own abundance. You're not worried. You're not losing sleep over this person anymore, but it hurts in your heart. You may have had to the recent realization may have been, hard to assimilate. What's coming for you, so you know, is an incredible level of abundance. Your fortune is changing. You sense this. You're aware of it. You've also been wondering who's messing with you. You've sensed that somebody is trying to intervene in your success. You've sensed it. You're wondering if it's the third party of this. You may be wondering if she's causing the illusion, right? Or you may be suspecting that she's the one causing the frustration and the difficulty between you. But regardless of that, you also you're going to be coming into all kinds of abundance and recognition for your work, and it's going to be happening by official people, for example. It looks even like you may end up, it's gold for you. Whatever's going on for you, Divine Feminine, Queen of Swords, it's going to be incredibly abundant. You double abundance, some type of an official person here is going to be bringing in the abundance. There's another party for you, though, that's also creating some confusion. What's this? Let me read this row here real quick. Yeah, wow, this is interesting, because what it's actually showing me is that there's a third party for you as well. And you may not be thinking very much about this third party. You're focused on the person that we were just thought we were reading about. This is super interesting, though, because what it's showing me is that there's actually another, since you showed up in Divine Feminine and it's pairing up with the tarots in feminine and masculine, there's an ex for you that's not the person you're thinking about that's causing problems for you. There's someone in your energy that's blocking you somewhat. So you need to understand that. It's coming through really clearly here. Someone's blocking your new start from your past. So you need to know who this is. It's an ex. It's not this main person that you're thinking of and wanting a new start with, who I was actually thought I was reading for. So this might be the third party, or what might be happening is that the masculine senses that there's competition and he wants to lock it down before he's even ready, right? So I kind of have, the picture's becoming clear that you have two masculine energies, the one that you're thinking primarily of and that's in your heart, and another ex. And there's another ex that's causing you some problems. The masculine that you're interested in, though, is also got another party interfering. You both have parties interfering. And you may have a surprise coming because you didn't realize that this ex of yours was interfering. I think that might be what's going on here. Super interesting and wild, and I didn't expect that. So now I'm sort of wanting to scry a little bit. What's going on? What can I see from a gaze here? This third party for them is thinking, wondering what you're thinking. There's a lot of spying on everyone here. You're not. I'm just going to say that right now. You are not spying. You're not doing anything. Like, you're moving on. You recognized accurately, this is a big quagmire that's never going to get me anywhere. I need to extract myself from it and focus on myself and my self-love and my abundance, like we just said. So you're good. This is the storm that's kind of brewing around you that is creating a tower in your heart center. I think because of this, because you're not realizing that there's another party involved that's blocking you from your past. I don't think you realize that. I'm sorry to deliver that news, but this is kind of a trip, but you as a couple here, main female and main male, and again, it doesn't have to be gender specific here. Your exes might be working together. They may be bitter about the fact that there's something between you and they've joined up to try to break you up or prevent it from happening so they can get you back, right? Something like that happened to my dad. Not exactly, but in his past, when he was going through a divorce with my stepmom, who was abusive, he had also married another abusive woman before my stepmother, and even before my biological mother. He had been married to 2 abusers in his life. When he was trying to split up from the abuser that I had the exposure to as a toddler, that was a very contentious divorce, and she was very underhanded and manipulative, and she went and reached out to the first wife, who was also underhanded and manipulative, and they teamed up against my dad, or tried to. It didn't work because they weren't very smart about it. They were just vindictive and vengeful people, women. So it didn't succeed in taking my dad down. But when my dad saw it, he was like, wow. He said something like they were sitting together in court, and he went up to him and was like, oh, okay, I see how it is. You 2 are friends now, huh? But he knew, he knew what they were up to. This is what's the tower, is that I think you're not aware of this. You are not aware that your ex is also involved. You may have only thought that this person that he was involved with was the source of all the problems, and then you're finding out now that. And if you haven't found that out, I'm saying it's here. And I'm sorry, that's going to be a blow. It's kind of the sense I have. So I'm going to just pull a card and scry into it a little bit, and we'll see if I can end it there. Feels like I don't want to end it with this Grand Tableau layout necessarily. I don't know here. I feel a little bit lost. You are not lost. This person might be lost, or the other parties might be lost. You've already moved beyond it. So you don't have anything to worry about. Your abundance is coming. Nobody's going to interfere with it. Not your person you're in love with, not their ex, and not your ex. They may have tried to interfere, but it didn't work, because it may have temporarily worked with this man, and you may never get to get. Doesn't even seem to really be your focus. Other than you were sad about this person, you've moved past it and are trying to move past it and just create the life that you want for yourself without either of these parties. That's where you are. There are a lot of people involved, though, that are trying to prevent that. Like, this is what it is. So I'm kind of seeing here some cobwebs, which to me shows an ending of, or like a neglected home. I mean, whatever, I have cobwebs right now, and I don't neglect my home, but that's the feeling that it's giving me, is cobwebs. My parents had an argument about cobwebs, and it was one of those examples they always used as an example of a pointless argument. That might be true. You might be vulnerable to getting stuck on pointless arguments, and that might be part of the energy that's been in play here. That they've been trying to pit you against each other in some way so that you're mad at one another. Because I'm seeing these cobwebs, and that's a famous story between my dad and my mom before my mom died, was that they had a fight about the cobwebs. And my mom stood up for herself and was like, really, Ron? Like, what are you going to do about it? Basically, it was like, what are you going to do? Why don't you clean the fucking cobwebs, right? And then they laughed about it and the fight was over. It was absurd. So that might come to be here. There's positive things between you. But you've already moved on and he's aware of that. I don't think he likes it, right? There's vulnerabilities that he has that I don't think he's aware of either. But that might be why he was showing up like a player. You may assume he's showing up like a player, and this is some kind of weird way that these two people are still trying to work against you. I didn't get the moon card, so it doesn't seem like there's illusion afoot for you. You're seeing very clearly, and you're only going to deal with someone who's being really clear. So like, let's say this masculine shows up but he's still hemming and hawing. Nope. This person, nope. Like, you are only willing to deal with people who are going to be clear and honest, and that's what's protecting you. So just stay there. If this person shows up and is seeming reluctant to tell you the full story, pass. When he's ready, he can tell you, but until then, you're not going to get involved. And I think that's how you're going to protect yourself from this type of cobwebby fake conflict that isn't even really real. What else here? There's going to be a need for a lot of communication. That throat chakra came up, and this is seeming like a big mouth right now. Meaning not that someone's a big mouth, although there could be some gossip. Didn't really pick up on it a ton, but to me it speaks to that open throat chakra. Like, there's going to need to be very clear, open communication, like it just said. It involves everything, because it involves seeing what is in front of you and not lying to yourself. It involves listening, which is part of having an open throat chakra, is being able to listen. And it also means being unwilling to be distracted by the cobwebs, which is that fake argument between my parents that was an illusion, because the truth is deeper. You have to go deeper to find it here. But you can if you're both willing. You have to both be willing, though. So I feel like that's a good place to end it. There's the important takeaway for you is that nothing is going to prevent your abundance here. You are getting your abundance and rewards for hard work, regardless of what these two other masculines are doing, or the other party for the other masculine, right? Like, these second and third and fourth parties may have been trying to hold you back, but it's definitely not working for you. And if this masculine wakes up to it, it's not going to work for him either. And he'll also be willing to be like, yeah, let's not get caught up in an argument about the cobwebs here. Let's focus on the real issues and be honest and forthright with open throat chakras, listening to one another, not being distracted, not allowing old patterns or old fears to interfere, right? If you have an anxiety, are you just going to, like, how important is money to you? I'm worried that you only want to be with me for my money. Why don't you just say that, right? Like, why don't you start with those kinds of open, honest, fearless discussions? And that would be a way to protect the communication with this person. So thank you so much. I'll be back later tonight with a Obsidian Mirror podcast installment. I didn't do the card pulls for between the two this time. Life got away with me, my tattoo. I've got a dying loved one. But I'll be back tonight with the I think it's the last quarter moon or first quarter moon. I can't remember. But I'll see you soon. Thank you for being here.